Hey, 3631 Tactical. Today I want to talk about grip strength training and how that's going to help you shoot a pistol better. Crush grippers have been around for a little while. There's different weights. I have a T all the way up to a 3. So I have a T, a 1, a 1.5, a 2, 2.5, and a 3. And the weight levels of those are the T is 100 pounds, the 1 is 140, the 1.5 is 165.5, the number 2 is 195 pounds, the number 2.5 is 237.5 pounds, and the number 3 is 280 pounds. They also have a number 4. I think with the number 4, there's only 5 people or some ridiculously small number of people in the world that have ever closed it. Even the 3 is, I mean, you're like an elite athlete if you can close the number 3. I can't close the number 3 yet, but those are the ones I have, and those are the weights. They do have some that are less weight than a trainer, that if you need to start off slower, or not slower, but if you need to start off at a lighter weight. But for me, the T was the one that I kind of started at. So I found out about the Captain of Crush Grippers from Bob Vogel. I took his class a couple years ago, and if you don't know who he is, just type his name in YouTube. He's one of the top competitive shooters out there now, and he has been for a lot of years. But he took a number 3 in his class and closed it, and that's almost 300 pounds, and that's a crushing grip. And I've been working on these grippers since that time, and the best I can do is a number 2. If I'm not too tired, if I just warm up a little bit and I really give it my all, I can just close a number 2, and a number 2 is like 195 pounds. So I'm nowhere near closing a number 3. But the benefit that I've seen in my shooting from having a stronger grip is huge. It's leaps and bounds. I can shoot faster with a higher degree of accuracy, just leaps and bounds further than what I used to be able to before I started grip strength training. So, don't be intimidated by this or any other video that you see on YouTube. You see some guy closing a number 4, number 3, or whatever number they're closing. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Just worry about what you're doing. Even if you never get to the point where you can close these high-level grippers, don't worry about it. As long as you build up some strength, it's going to be a benefit to you if you're trying to shoot a gun fast and accurate. So the other thing I have to say about these, before I show you everything here that I got here, is to educate yourself about grip strength training. I got this book. It's called Grip Strength. This guy, Robert Spindler and Tommy Hislop. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. This guy's actually certified for closing the Iron Mind Captains of Crush number 4. And the number 4 is, it's almost 400 pounds. I think it's 365. It's some ridiculous amount of strength that it takes to close that thing. So get a book and learn how to do this right, or research it on YouTube, but make sure you don't just try to do it on your own, because that's what I did, and I was doing this way too much. I mean, I was doing this every other day, sometimes day after day after day. I just keep working, keep gripping, and you can definitely injure. You got a lot of small tendons and things in your hands, things like your tennis elbow. I had that flare up last year, and that hurt half of my competitive shooting season. I was struggling with that for the whole first half. Towards the end, it finally started healing up, and I started shooting better. I started winning matches. But you don't want to injure yourself. Things like these little tendons and things, and even that tennis elbow that I had, those things don't heal quite as fast as maybe your quads or your chest or your back or some of the bigger muscle groups. Those don't heal quite as fast. So don't get ahead of yourself. Don't try to educate yourself about grip strength training, and have a plan and stick to your plan. Sometimes I know my fault is I go all in with stuff, and that sometimes is not the best thing to do. So what I do now is I only do this 2 days a week. Usually, unless something happens and I get busy, I usually do it on a Tuesday and like on a Friday or a Saturday. Like, that's it. I do it 2 days a week. And this is kind of the routine I go through. And this is the routine I got out of this book. And it's not the exact routine. There was some other stuff they were doing, but this is what I've been doing. I'll take 3 grippers as a warm-up. So I take the T, the 1, and the 1.5 as my warm-up. And what I'll do is I'll just close them 10 times. I just close it 10 times on each hand, and I'll do 3 sets of that with the T. Then I'll go to the 1, then I'll go to the 1.5. So I'm really good warmed up. I mean, the majority of my training is just warming everything up, warming the muscles up. And then the challenge gripper that I have is the number 2. Like I said, if I warm up a little bit and I really give it my all, I'm pretty close. Sometimes I can close it, sometimes I can't, but I'm pretty close to closing the number 2, which is 195 pounds. So that's my challenge gripper. So I do my warm up, and then I do my challenge weight. And in the book, what it tells you to do is only do about 3 or 4 reps, but you have to give it everything you got. They tell you to stand up, you can scream, you can yell, you can do whatever you want, but you have to just grip it with everything you got. It's the only way you're going to build up that extreme strength in your grip. So once you're good and warmed up and you've done your couple sets, your 3 sets of 10 is what I try to do with 3 other grippers. Once you got a good warm up, then you go to your challenge gripper, and that's the one where you give everything you got. So you stand up, you get a good grip, and you gotta yell, scream, whatever you gotta do. Give it all you got. Close. Come on, close. Almost. I bet you didn't think I was gonna do that, did you? So, according to the book, you only do about three or four reps of that. Just 3 or 4 reps of just everything you got, all you got. And then the thing that it said to do is negatives. And I didn't used to do negatives, and once I started doing negatives, I started getting a lot stronger. So what I'll do is I'll take like the 2.5, that's 237 pounds. And negatives are just, you close it, whatever you got to take. If you got to take 2 hands to close it, if you got to use your hands and your legs to close it all the way, and then just hold it for as long as you can. So I would go ahead and close it with both hands, and then just hold it. Just hold it, just hold it, just hold it. Just hold it till I can't hold it anymore. And then with that, they say you need to do quite a few reps. I mean, I think the book said 20 or 25 reps. Depends on how much time I have. Because just doing reps and reps and reps back to back to back to back to back to back, you kind of tend to get tired really quick. So if I can do a rep and wait about 2 minutes and do a rep and wait about 2 minutes, I feel like I get a little bit more out of it. But then I would do my negatives, and the negatives really made my grip strength get a lot stronger, a lot faster once I started doing them. All right, now another very important aspect of grip strength training is that you gotta balance it. And these right here, they call these expand your hand bands, and they come in a bunch of different colors. And these are all just different just kind of different poundages. But what you're doing with these is you put them around your fingers and your thumb there, and you just expand your hand open. And what you're doing is you're working the opposing muscles. If you only work your muscles, the muscles that you use to close your grip, it'd be kind of like just always working your chest and never working your back, or always working your back and never working your chest type of thing. And you're going to create an imbalance, and you can create injury. So it's real important to balance it out. And this is real simple. You just put like I said, just put the bands on there. I'll do these like 25 times on each hand, and I'll do like three or 4 sets of that. That's it. Whenever I do the grip strength training, I do this as well. With this stuff, this isn't as bad. I mean, you could probably do this every day and get away with it, and it's probably not going to hurt nothing. But I generally just do them only on the days that I'm doing my grip strength training. But it's very, very important. You got to train the extensor muscles in your forearm and in your hands, the muscles that are in the direct opposition of the muscles that it takes to close something. You'll have a good balance, and you won't injure yourself. So make sure you're working those opposing muscles. All right, and the last thing I have here is this little kind of squeezy gripper ball here thing. And according to the book, again, it's important to recover. So on the days that you do your heavy grip strength training with your grippers, on your off days, your in-between days, just take get one of these little gripper balls and just grip it. It's really pretty easy to grip this thing. There's not much resistance here, but it's just a recovery way for your muscles to recover in between the heavy workouts. And I don't do this every day. Like I said, I do the grip strength training, the heavy stuff, maybe 2 times a week at the most. And then, whenever I have time, maybe you're a little stressed out, this kind of helps with that too. You just work those muscles a little bit, and it helps them to recover from any heavy workout that you may have done. The final thing that I think is important for grip strength training is stretching. You got to stretch. I'll go through this routine where I'll bend my wrist this way, and I'll apply a little pressure here, stretching your wrist out. I'll stretch my wrist down. I'll stretch my wrist, in this manner. One of the best ones I think right here is having my arm extended out, and I'll turn my wrist over and really kind of apply some pressure. And right up in here, that muscle where your tennis elbow generally flares up, I can feel it stretching all that stuff out. It feels really good. Got to stretch those muscles out. Stretch them out, loosen them up. Make sure you're doing your extensor muscles. Make sure you're giving yourself some recovery time, and you won't have a problem with grip strength training. Hey, if you like our gun and equipment, like and subscribe if you like these videos. One other video I'd like you to check out is the 1-second shotgun challenge. I fired 3 shots with slugs from a shotgun, pump action shotgun, in less than a second. And I'm really surprised that video didn't get as many views as I thought it would. So check that video out and tell me what you think.